Screen. Okay, we have started recording and we are live. I'm going to share my face. Now, what you didn't get to see was me dancing to the last song, so which would have been fun to see, but I was. I like that song. What can I say? Welcome, everybody. It's me solo, not for the entire night, but at least for the next 20 minutes. I'm going to put a plug into Scentsy as a lifestyle and as a business that is your full business here. Me and Meg run this business together, and we co-parent together. So I just got back from the piano lesson. She is finishing up the soccer lesson. She'll be here shortly. But we'll get started. Thank you to all of you that are attending. We hope that this will be beneficial for you. We hope that we're going to give you some really interesting things that have helped our business, particularly things that can help you in the summer months. We're going to try to break down maybe some of the stories you might have in your head about summer having to be slow. We don't believe that it does have to be slow. We've had some very strong summer months in the past. We're going to talk about the power of focus and a bunch of other things. Now, welcome to those of you who may not be in Team Lucas Forum. We've opened this webinar up to other Scentsy people, and also some non-direct sellers are actually on the call today. So welcome. You'll get a sense, no matter what type of business you do or no matter what you do in your life, period, the principles that we're going to talk about, particularly with respect to focus, will be applicable in whatever you do. Everybody is on mute right now. Just to reiterate that, if I didn't have you on mute, then no one would be able to hear anything because the feedback would be crazy. So if you do have questions, we will have time for questions at the end, and we can get through some of that at the end. So if you just put your questions in the question box, we should be able to get to those at the end. And again, this is being recorded. And so if you have team members that would like to hear it, I will put the link for the download up as soon as it is available. So now I'm just going to jump right into my portion of the training here. For the next 20 minutes, I'm going to actually cancel my webcam. I see on the question, Tina, you were dancing too. Good, I was too. You know, I really like that song, and I'm obsessed. I don't want to go on a tangent here, but how they were able to get Michael Jackson in, I don't know, technology is pretty cool. Okay, let's remove my face. Okay. Stop sharing webcam. Okay. Now, hopefully, you should be able to see my screen here. I'm going to talk about unleashing the power of focus. Let me just ask here, can somebody please type in if you can see the PowerPoint? Everything look good? Can someone just quickly in the question box type in whether or not they are seeing the PowerPoint? That would help me. Yes. Okay, good. Aaron Singer, quick on the draw. Great. Okay, I'm going to talk about unleashing the power of focus in your business. This is a critical concept, and I'm going to explain why in a minute. Okay, so let's just jump into it. So let's first talk about focus facts. I want to talk about 4 focus facts. What those are is facts about our business which create the impetus to need to focus. So I'm going to try to, channel my inner lawyer as much as I hate channeling that one, and try to present a case to you as to why focus is important for your business, and then give you some real strategies on how to apply the power of focus in your business. And then Meg's going to come in and get real practical. I'm going to deal with some theory. She's going to come in with some practical, where she's you're going to take this idea of focus, and now you've been taught how to do it, and then Meg's going to give you some specific strategies about how to actually do it over the next couple months as we lead up into the fall. Okay, let's get right into it. Focus fact number 1. In our business, now you could argue in any type of business, any type of startup, and Scentsy's a business. I preach this constantly, and I use the word preach because that's kind of how I feel like I am at times. We are not employees. This is as much a business as any business. The first 100 is the hardest 100. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm obviously making reference to team size here, but it could be applicable to anything. The first sale is often the hardest sale. But I wanted to use this team reference to make it very clear. Mine and Meghann's experience is the exact same as your experience. The first hardest is the first 100 is the hardest 100. You see that image of moving that rock. I want you to think about that metaphor for a second. You know, getting a rock, a big boulder moving, there's that inertia at the beginning. It's the exact same as getting a business off the ground. Is that first initial roll is the hardest. You're exerting the most strength that you have just to get it moving. And then after that, the rock starts to pick up speed, and it starts to get some momentum and move on its own. And you get to the point, I know a lot of people are on the call are this way, where the business starts moving, pretty well. But here's the thing that we got to deal with is that anytime you take breaks in the business, then that rock slows down, and then it's hard again. The inertia comes in, and so focus is critical. It's critical at the beginning to get the business moving, the rock rolling, and it's critical anytime you start to feel a bit of a slowdown. And the business cycle that we're in is that we have, and it's been the same ever since we've been in the business, is that the summer can tend to slow down a bit, so that there's this natural inertia that starts to kick in, and that is when we have to channel the focus to keep this rock moving. Okay. Number 2. Why is focus important? Number 2. Well, there's always another butterfly. And what I mean by this, I'm not talking about the good distractions in your life. Like, what's a good distraction? Well, a good distraction is, your family, or positive habits, exercise, things like that. Those are good things. Those are things that enhance your business. Those are things that make you a better person. What I'm talking about here is the constant distraction of, well, I'm trying to get this business going, and it's harder than I thought it was. And I see somebody on Facebook and they seem to have this new business. Maybe I'll try this one, or I hear that there's this other business, or maybe I could get a job, and you really, really deal with this at the beginning, because when you haven't got to, superstar consultant, I would say, is probably where the tipping point is. Superstar consultant seems to be where people really lock in and they're like, yeah, this is it. I'm going to hit director, and they start really heavily focusing on their goals. But when people are and certified or even essential, it's very interesting, the proportion. Everyone's teams are the same, and since we have a very large team, we analyze our data and our numbers, and we realize like a large portion of everybody's team sits at essential. And why is that? Well, there could be a lot of different reasons. Maybe different motivations in getting in the business, but I really believe, and we see this, that this notion of chasing the butterfly is relevant. People don't realize how hard it is to get that rock rolling. People don't realize how hard it is to get a business going. And so as they're pushing and struggling, trying to get the rock moving, they see another butterfly. And it gets really tempting to chase it. It gets really tempting to think, well, maybe I'll do this other business too, or maybe this other business has a better growth than Scentsy, or maybe, and they start to chase butterflies again. That's why focus is so critical to prevent this. I'm gonna tell you why we want to prevent this in just a second. I kind of already talked about this one, number 3. I should have put number 3 and number 2 because I should have swapped those. The better transition. But it is business getting a new business off the ground is hard. So let's go back into this for a sec. New business off the ground is hard, so it's easy to chase butterflies. So with that in mind, let's move to. Sorry, I inserted that one. It is possible. Let me get into this. Let's move into number 4. Those people of our teams, particularly our directors, have heard me talk about brutal facts. Let me tell you a brutal fact. Brutal fact. And this is really, really important with the chasing of the butterflies. Meghann and I hesitated to even bring this one up, but I felt that was in everyone's best interest to share this. We have literally never met a high income earner in Scentsy who does multiple direct sales businesses. Never. Not a single one. We don't know of a single one. And so you might say, well, what does high income mean? High income is a bit of a subjective term. I can for sure tell you that no one who's over 6 figures does multiple direct sales businesses. You see a pattern. I've actually talked with Orville extensively about this concept. I spent in our Greece trip, I would chatted with him for a couple hours on this concept, literally, because I'm very intrigued by it, as is he. It takes time to get to an income level in a direct sales business. And one of the biggest dangers with new consultants starting out, and it's why I get really frustrated with the way that some people promote direct sales companies, is because they create unrealistic expectations. They create these expectations that you should be able to make a ton of money right off the bat. Well, look at the statistics in any business. Any business takes time to get off the ground. It took years for me and Meghann to get to the point where we were making a good income. Years. It takes time. And we haven't met any high income earners in Scentsy who do multiple direct sales business, not a single one. And so this even reiterates again why it's so important to focus and to be committed for the long run, and be willing to just see it out, and to understand and have proper expectations. I see this so often, and I don't really know what to say anymore other than the truth. I see consultants all the time who will come on Facebook and be upset. Maybe it hasn't gone as well as they wanted it to. But a lot of times when you ask them what they're doing, they openly admit they're not working as hard as they could. But they're kind of discouraged, and I understand discouragement. I've been discouraged. Meg's been discouraged. But part of the discouragement, a large part of it, could have been mitigated if the expectations were managed a little bit more. And you came into the business knowing that it is possible to make a very, very good income. There are tons and tons of examples of this, of people who make very good income. But it takes time, and you got to have focus, and you can't work your business once a month and expect to have that. It's just the same as if you bought a Subway franchise. You can't buy a Subway franchise, open the doors once a month, and expect to make lots of money. It's the exact same thing with our business. So now that I've laid out, let's transition here. So some of you on the call might be thinking, yeah, but what if I don't care about being a high income earner? What if I have different goals? And some of you might be saying, well, you and Meghann all the time say that your goals don't have to be the same as our goals. So aren't you being a little contradictory? No, because we still believe that. We believe that your goals should be different, or should be whatever you want them to be. No matter what your goals are, focus will improve your business, no matter what you want with your business. And there is no wrong answer to this. Okay? Your business should be whatever you want it to be. You shouldn't mirror someone else's goals. You shouldn't design your life based on what someone else has designed. Let your life and business be whatever you want it to be. But I can absolutely promise you that whether your goal is to make $1,000 a month or $50,000 a month, whether your goal is to have a team of 100 or a team of 4,000, if you improve your focus, you will benefit from your business. Why? Why does that happen? Let's get into it. Number one, your business performance will improve when you focus. there is, and this is very, very well documented. There are books and books and books in psychology, performance literature, organizational psychology, business, self-help. There is books and books and books and study and study and study that says performance increases with focus. Now, why do I have a picture of Steve Jobs here? Well, I wanted to share a story. I was going to put on the video, but we don't really have time because it's kind of a long video. But I would encourage any of you, if you're taking notes, to go look it up. An incoming Nike, like the shoe company, a CEO incoming for Nike. This was, well, Steve Jobs died a couple of years back, so this would probably have been 10 or 15 years ago. He sought out Steve Jobs for advice because he was a new CEO and he wanted to go to one of the most well-recognized and successful business leaders of all time. And I guess when you're the CEO of Nike, you can get an audience with Steve Jobs. So he did. He got a meeting with Steve Jobs. And Steve Jobs' advice to him was so brilliant. And it impacted Nike's strategy. And if you look at Nike over the last 20 years, you'll see it. You can see this play out. Steve Jobs. So anyways, the Nike CEO said to Steve, Steve, I am now CEO. What advice, if any, do you have for me? Steve Jobs' advice was simple. Nike makes a lot of good products and you make a lot of crap. Get rid of the crap and focus your attention instead on the good products. And he was like, huh, that's interesting. Seems so simple, right? So why, how does that apply here? How does that apply? Well, it applies in that it's hard to share your focus. Multitasking is a myth. Okay, again, there are books on this. There are studies on this. But when you multitasking, whether or not you say, if someone says to me, I am an expert multitasker, that's not something to brag about. Because what you're telling me is you don't perform as well at every single task that you do. I'm way more interested in being mastery level of a few things than dabbler level at a couple. And so when you spread your focus across a whole bunch of things, you know, if you're doing if you're a kit chaser, kidnapper, you know, you join every direct sales company that comes along and you're all over the place. Your performance in all those direct sales companies won't be as strong as if you just focused on one and put all your effort and attention into one. Think of your business like a machine. Think of it like an engine, or think of it like a watch. Okay, open up the, I don't know what it's called, the face of a watch, and you will see a number of intricate gears working together, all with the purpose of keeping time. Well, a well-oiled business is exactly the same. If you go to any superstar director, and I'm going to use superstar director for a second here, because it's the top rank, it's the highest income earning, and it's the fewest proportional consultants that achieve it. But every single one of you on this call can achieve that. Every single one of you. Absolutely, utterly believe this. Every single one of you can achieve this. But if you go to any superstar director and you look at their business, superstar director doesn't come by luck. It comes through strategic, organized planning and execution over a long period of time. If you look at any superstar director and you look at their business, I know because we go to Summit every year. I've talked with pretty much all of them. Okay. I know it. Every single superstore director, their business is running like a machine. They've got systems, they've got processes, they've got habits, they've got focused action. It's not sporadic. They don't run their business once every month and then hope for great results. And they're level-headed. They understand sales cycles. They understand things slow down. They're able to de-emotionalize the business. That's what you want to duplicate. And whether your goal, again, there's no bad goal. Whether your goal is a team of 100 or a team of 1,000, whether your goal is 1,000 a month or 10,000 a month, it doesn't matter what your goal is. The more that you can build this machine, the quicker you'll attain that goal. And probably what will happen is you'll want to even reach further. Okay, why focus number 3? This is a big one. I've included a copy of this book. This book's been so influential on me and Meghann, the way that we run our business and just for our own psychology. I'd encourage you to get it. I don't know how many of you are readers, but Flow. Flow is a book by a famous psychologist named Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. I even pronounced it right. He was the head of the psychology department at the University of Chicago Medical School for many, many, many years. He conducted a seminal study that it was one of the largest studies ever conducted on human experience and fulfillment ever conducted. Very, very famous book. And what he was trying to understand was, when are humans most fulfilled? At what points of their life are they most fulfilled? And he sought all this data, 25 years of data across all different types of people, all different types of ethnicities, income levels, careers, everything. And he came up with this very interesting theory, which has been proven. This book was written back in the 80s. And the book is, if you look at any book nowadays on performance psychology, they're going to reference Flow. And what his conclusion was it's not the periods of relaxation and vacation that people find most fulfilling. It's not. Those might be satisfying temporarily, but as everyone knows, we've experienced this over and over again. I know all of you have too. After about 10 days of your vacation, or maybe even less, you're ready to go home. You're tired of just sitting around baking in the sun. At least the vast majority of people are. You want to get moving. You want to do something. Human beings are hardwired to pursue goals. We're hardwired to be moving and to be progressing. And what he discovered was that the moment of optimal fulfillment for a human is when you are giving your best effort and completely immersed in the activities that lead to pursuing a goal that is worthwhile to you. And so what am I talking about here? Like, what mumbo jumbo, blah 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 blah, Charlie Brown's teacher. What are you talking about? What I'm talking about is, the more you concentrate on your business, the better experience you'll have in this business. The more you allow yourself to just jump in. Like, don't worry about the failure. Don't worry about the risk. Don't worry about what could happen. And you just lose yourself in the business and lose yourself in growing it, the better experience you have. And the consultants who have negative experiences with their business, I've seen it over and over and over again, because we talk to them. We try to coach them and before they leave, it's always the same thing, that they never let themselves just concentrate and focus and be absorbed in the business. They didn't let themselves flow. They ran their business sporadically. Now, I'm not saying that you have to, be obsessed. Meghann and I have been accused of that. We have literally been accused of this. We have actually multiple times, where they're like, well, not everyone wants to be obsessed with Scentsy. Well, we don't want to be obsessed with Scentsy. You know, we don't want you to be obsessed. We see our business as a means of facilitating the life that we want to live. And we live, and we're really happy with our lives. We just know that the more you put in, the more you get out. This quote, this is so powerful. At least to me it is. Whether writing a poem or cleaning the house, running a scientific experiment or a race, the quality of experience tends to improve in proportion to the effort invested in it. Okay, let's move on. How to focus. I'm going to get into some very, very specific strategies. So pretty much everything I've said for the last 20 minutes has been kind of theory around why we should focus. Now I'm going to teach you how to focus, how you can do it and improve what you're doing. And these strategies I try to implement every single day in my life and in our business, and Meg does too. Number one, it's that quote, and I always butcher it, but I love the quote so much. It's that quote of Alice in Wonderland, where I can't even remember who the characters are, but basically it's, if you don't know where you're going, it doesn't matter which direction you go. You can't focus if you don't know where you're going. So if you want to learn how to focus, first off, I cannot stress this enough. In Greece, all the directors of ours that went to Greece, I feel like I had this conversation with all of them because it's so important. One of the very, very, very first things that you need to do with your business is just decide what you want from your business. And I mean literally. Then don't tell me you want happiness. Don't tell me you want success. Don't tell me you want money. That you can't focus on that. That's too general. The best thing that we ever did with our business was in 2010 when we sat down in Hawaii and took out a pen and paper and said, we want to leave law, and what do we need to do? And then we wrote down, we said, I'm making 150 grand in law. That's what we wrote down, 150 grand. We have to figure out a way to make 150 grand immediately. And when we get to there, I'll leave law. That was the initial target. But let me tell you why this was so important. Because for us, once you know where you're going, then you can unravel it from the end. Okay, you can reverse architecture. You have a blueprint, and then you can unwind it. And what I mean by that is that you can say, okay, in our case, this is what we did. This is literally what we did, and we achieved our goal in 2012. In the summer of 2012, we achieved that goal. What we did was we said 150 grand. Okay, who makes 150 grand in the business? We literally said that. And we found some people who did, some American SSDs. And we went to them and we said, what does your business look like? How many people do you have on your group? How many people do you have in your team? How many frontline do you have? How many first gen directors do you have? How many second gen directors do you have? How many third gen directors do you have? We broke it down. And the reason why we did this is because once we knew what 150 was comprised of, number one, it created belief. We realized, hey, we could do this. Number two, we were able to chunk down our goals. We were able to look at it and say, okay, well, this person's making 150 grand and they have 100 frontline and they've got, 30 directors. Well, we've got to get to 100 frontline as quickly as possible. So that's a goal of, 4 recruits a month for 2 years. We can do it. So you see what I mean? Like when you chunk it down that way, and that's the thing that you should use me and Meghann for this. Use the other directors. If your director isn't quite at the income level, then talk to us. Like we can give you a number. If you come to us and you say, I want to make $50,000, I can literally tell you what that's comprised of very, very quickly. Then you have clarity. Then you can reverse build it, reverse architecture. You can work at the very back. You can chunk it down into what that means, and then you can start making small goals that allow you to achieve those chunks. But your focus is tuned in. It's so dialed in. It changes everything. Well, like I did a video a long time ago that talked about what are some of the key, I can't even remember what I called them, but what are the things that we see that consultants that don't succeed, what is in common with them? And one of the most important things was they didn't know what they want. They had no idea. They just had this general sense that they're in business, kind of, but a lot of them thought they were employees still, and they didn't really know. But the consultants who succeed, our directors, our star directors, we have our superstar director that we promoted, the superstar consultants, the people in our team and group who are succeeding have very, very, very clear goals. Okay, moving on. And Meghann just came in. So I only have a couple more slides. Okay, how to focus number 2. Plan in advance. Make a list of all the actions that you are going to take this month and then do them. Write down that list. Don't spend your time spinning your wheels. Don't spend your time. Actually, I'm not going to talk about this one because it's 2 slides in. Just take the time. Take an hour on a Sunday night in the last Sunday of the month. Write down a list of 50 things that you're going to do that month. And then put your brain on the shelf. Go into action mode. Separate your thinking from your action and spend 98% of your time in action. Okay, next one, chunk. I talked about the power chunks. This is basically once you have your list. So let's start at the very beginning. You know what you want, then you make a plan, then every single day, chunk time. So put in time slots where you are going to do the things on your list and make it happen. You know what you want. You define actions that are going to get you there. You're chunking it down. This one. While you are doing all this, every single one of these things on here, don't go into them. If your list says you're going to call old hosts, turn Facebook off while you call old hosts. Eliminate distractions. And social media is such a powerful tool. We wouldn't have the business, you wouldn't have the business you have. Our business, all of our businesses would be very challenging to run without social media, but it is death to focusing. It is the most powerful distraction mechanism that has ever been created, ever. There's nothing even remotely close to it. Number 1, any of these logos you can see, they will destroy your focus. And you say, well, I like them. I like Facebook. Well, then chunk Facebook time. Make your list and put one of those lists you're going to be on Facebook and give yourself an hour to be on Facebook. And then turn it the hell off. Seriously, I can't stress it this much. It'll get you worked up. Don't spend all your if you're spending all your quote business hours on Facebook, you're not going to achieve all your goals. You have to do other things. Last one, and then Meg's here. She's going to take over with some practical. It helps to focus if you are surrounded with people who believe in you. And this can be a tough one because not everyone believes in our business. And there's probably people in your family, there's probably some of your best friends who don't believe in you, in your ability to achieve your business. Now, I'm not saying cut your friends and family out. What I am saying is get some people into your life who do believe in you. Reach up your line. Reach to your sponsor, reach to your director, your star director, reach to your superstar director. Because we believe in you. We believe in the business. We will give you that kind of support. And when you have that belief and that kind of support, then it will help you to channel your focus. So passing it over to Meg now. I'm going to actually pop on the webcam here.
Oh, dear.
How's the soccer game?
Successful 5 goals.
Good. Now where is the webcam here? It says you can see you. Okay. I don't know where the webcam went. Well, you're on.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi guys.
I think it's because I have this on.
Okay.
Okay. So.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Hi guys. Thanks for tuning in. And I just got back from literally in the door from Seth's soccer game. So One of the great things about our business is we can fit it in where around our other life and family commitments. So I'm going to take over. Hopefully, you're feeling inspired and excited, and have some nuggets of thoughts from Ryan's presentation. And he's just going to head out. Is the camera on or off?
Camera is off right now because you're going to do this.
Okay. Oh, I have to use my own slides.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Okay. Press down.
Okay. I'm
recording, right?
now in charge of my own PowerPoint, which is a little bit of a scary thing because Ryan usually does that. So this is going to be fun. I think I can do it. Okay. So I'm going to talk to you guys a bit about keeping your business moving in the right direction during our summer months, which is what we're coming up to here in Canada. Now, I know for our Aussies, you guys are not in your summer months, but I think that the information is going to be beneficial no matter what region you're in, because I'm just going to chock you full of ideas that you can apply. So first of all, I want to start off by talking about this whole myth that exists. That's the summers slow down. Do you guys ever think that, or do you mentally prepare yourself for the summer slowing down? Do you feel like you worry about that? So I've actually talked to some very successful consultants, and one in particular, Jessica Markowitz. She was on the trip with us in Greece. She's from Las Vegas. She's a director. And I have a quote from her. What she says, can you shut the door, please? Children breaking in. About what she says about this myth. So we're going to go to the next screen here. No, he's not Macy. Okay, so Jessica. She says, when I joined, I didn't know that May, June, and July were slow months. Therefore, I still had the huge months because I wasn't focusing on the fact that people don't buy or host in these months. Therefore, I kept asking and booking and kept getting consistent business, which is exactly what I kept doing as the years went on. So basically, she joined and nobody told her that these were our slow months, quote unquote. So she carried on business as usual. I think I was thinking about maybe why we think this. I think it's more so much that the business doesn't slow down, but we slow down, and it's normal to slow down in the summer, especially families with kids. You have your kids are home, you've got a full house, you've got family vacations. You know, those of us that are sun deprived in a lot of Canada live for the summer because we actually can spend some time outside for the 6 weeks that we have not frost on the ground. So, okay, that's exaggerating a little bit, but I'm just a little bitter from our long, long winter we seem to finally be coming out of. Anyway, so we want to be out. We want to be doing things a little different than we do for the rest of the year. So I think really the myth is part of it, that our lives and our schedules kind of change. And because they change, it makes it maybe a little, you have to get a little more creative or think outside the box to continue to work your business and fit it in around your new schedule for the next couple of months. Oh, here's Ryan. Am I on camera? I'm confused.
No, camera's off.
Okay, camera's off now. Okay. So here's a thought. We are not employees of Scentsy. We are business owners. So that's what we need to think of. And that's what's the awesome thing about being a business owner is you can be autonomous. You can decide when you want to work. You can decide when you don't want to work. You can take time off. You can go on holidays and stuff, but you have to think of yourself as a business owner, not an employee. So just imagine if you had a favorite store that just decided they were going to shut down for 2 months, you'd probably go find a new store, right? And that's kind of the same thing. If you decide you're going to shut down for 2 months, your customers will go find a new consultant that is not shut down. So I'm not saying don't take a break and don't enjoy the summer and enjoy vacation, enjoy all those good things that we get to do in these couple months coming up. But you've got to figure out a way to keep your business and the momentum growing and fit it in around your schedule, fit it in and do some new, different creative things. And I'm going to share some of those things with you for the next couple of months. But also, it is a lot harder to pick up after shutting down for a while. If anyone's had a little break from their business, for whatever, life, personal, sickness, family, whatever. And you know what? Most people have to. it is a hard thing to do, to pick up. You lose some momentum, and it's hard, and it can feel a little bit frustrating at times, because you're having to work kind of like how you did when you started. And so that's my thought on busting that myth. So really, you know what? I think that it doesn't have to be that way. And I actually talked to some other consultants that um, are very successful, that were in Greece with us, and they they said the same thing, is they treat every month, they set goals every month, and they just get a little bit more creative and do a few things different in these upcoming months. Okay, so the next slide we're going to is Scentsy business farming. And so the farming analogy. I like this analogy because we're in a rural, not a rural agricultural area in southern Alberta here, in Western Canada, the prairies. Agriculture is a huge part of our life and our culture out here. Ryan's families are farmers, so we don't see our in-laws really for these months coming up. We barely see them as they're farming, and they're very busy with the farm. So we really get farming. Ryan moved pipe as a 10-year-old boy growing up. He was out at 5 a.m, pushing pipe around and irrigation stuff. Sorry, my dog just came in. Sorry, I'm going to shut my door. Man, I'm having distractions today. Sorry, team. Welcome to real life, hey? All right. So I like this farming analogy because you need to think of your business like a farm. This is the season we're heading into to plant and nourish seeds. Seeds can be, in our case, potential customers, hosts, potential teammates, your teammates. But you need to be getting your name out there, putting those seeds down. And when I say putting seeds down, I mean it's literally getting your name out there, getting your catalogs out there, getting your samples out there, and reconnecting, calling, touching base, texting, Facebooking, whatever you do. Personal calls are always the best, with old hosts, with old customers. This is the time to do those customer service follow-up calls, check in with people, see how they like their stuff, see if they need more stuff. But you need to be doing these seed planting activities. You also need to make sure you're watering the seeds that you've started to grow. So if you are working with somebody thinking about maybe joining the business, and whoops, school's out, and all of a sudden kids are on holidays and you're on holidays, don't just not think about them for the next 2 months while you're on holidays. You need to still connect with them. It's too long to let that contact or that lead sit. So you need to continue what you were doing before the holidays started, because this is I cannot stress this enough. The activities and the things that you do right now are going to be the seeds that you plant. The actions you do are going to be your harvest in the fall. Our fall winter catalog starts September 1st of the year and goes through till the end of February. But our really busy season really starts kicking in. Kicking in August, September, and grows up and up and up, and it peaks in November, and then December is the kind of the tail end of the holiday shopping months. Did you know that in direct sales and in our business, and Scentsy, I think it's pretty typical that you earn roughly the same income between January and August that you do in September and December. So that is showing how much I'm trying. Sorry, I'm stuttering on here on my words here. That just shows how crucial the fall is going to be for your business. But it won't be busy if you haven't taken any time to nurture and grow relationships through the year. Do not sit back and think that, come September, I'm going to start working hard because people will be Christmas shopping. Yeah, you might grab some people, but you'll grab a lot more people if you are able to have follow up with leads and have kept connected all the way throughout the year, and especially through the summer months. So make sure you're out there planting and watering your seeds, because you are going to have a wonderful harvest. All right. Okay. So here's some practical ideas to keep your business growing in the summer. Basket parties. Basket parties, for anybody who's brand new, maybe on this call, or not familiar with basket parties, they're portable parties where you can just use little mini samples. First, the Scentsy family, Scentsy fragrance brand. And you can get those in your Scentsy family store, but they're great. They're just little minis of our regular size testers. Pack them up in a cute little tote or a basket and pass them on. They are perfect for people, especially if you have hosts that are going on vacation or family reunions, or sports have sporting events and they're going to be sitting there with a bunch of moms and teammates moms and stuff like that. Those are so easy to have them take a party. A lot of people I know and a lot of consultants that I talked to and spoke to about this in preparation for this webinar, I asked a lot of them what was their number one thing they plan on doing in the summer, and they said basket parties, because those little guys are out there working for you while you're doing your other life. So you could be on vacation for a week with your family down in California or wherever, and you've sent out a basket party, and that little guy is working for you while you're having fun with your family. And isn't that the best kind of business, where you don't have to be present to have something working for you all the time? So I love the idea of basket parties. Another fun idea with your basket parties is keeping them on the move. So setting up a challenge or a system, I know other consultants that do this too, is have your host of the basket party, have them, incentivize them, reward them by getting you their next basket party, and they send that party on to the next host. So you don't even see it. You can have a traveling basket party moving around and collecting orders as you go. So that's a great idea. So really focus on basket parties. Another one is themed parties, backyard barbecue, poolside parties, neighborhood block parties, co-ed, husband and wife parties. Everybody's a bit more relaxed in the summer. People want to be outside. They might not want to be in a stuffy house with all the windows shut and just in the house, because that's something we have to do for 10 months of the year. So when it's summer, we want to be outside. So figure out a way to make the parties fun around the pool. Clever little ideas, dress up, tropical. I've seen like Hawaii luau parties, flip-flop parties. I'm going to read you a little quote from one of our awesome TWW directors, Sue Ann Diebel. This is what she said about this. She said, outdoor kickback parties with the gals. I promoted this last year with all the brands, and it was good. We still want great smells without the risk of candles in the summer. And Scentsy is so safe when it's so dry outside. And then she said, don't even get me started with Velada, pre-dipped chocolate marshmallow s'mores, outdoor raclette parties. I tell them to invite all the girls over. I will bring the lemonade prizes for the best flip-flops. So I thought that was super cute. Just a way, something else that you can do, a perfect time to do this would be doing a Bring Back My Bar, open house, or a fun outdoor party with all your Bring Back My Bar samples, a barbecue, anything. Make it fun though. Customer follow-up. This is a really good time. People are just a little bit slower paced if they're home and around in the summer. So this is a good time to call your customers, go through all your orders, go through all your old hosts from the last 6 months or a year, and just work through party by party. Call them and say, hey, how are you doing? How are you enjoying your product? Look through their order form. Say, how are you loving that Camu Camu scent? Or your rustic star warmer. Get personal with them. Show them that you remember what they ordered. And then say, I'm going to be placing an order in the next week. Would you like to add anything to it? Do you need to replenish your wax? Would you be interested in doing a fun basket party or a theme party? And give them a personal incentive. But do customer follow-up. You need to keep connected throughout the summer. So this is a really good time to touch base with the people that have kept your business going up to that point. Sample making. Sample making is fun, it's easy, and it's something you can do in this time as well. Make a bunch of samples, staple them to the warmer of the month flyer, scent of the month flyer, host and join brochures, whatever you want, catalogs. Make a whole bunch of them. Make a big stock of them at once, and then you have them all the way through the summer, and clip them onto things, staple them onto your brochures, and load up your purses and backpacks and picnic baskets and beach bags. Wherever you're going, make sure you've got a couple on there at all times so you're prepared, so you're not ever caught Scentsy naked. And we'll talk about that another time. But I got caught Scentsy naked a few weeks ago, and it was kind of embarrassing. So Scentsy naked is basically when you get caught and asked for business supplies and you don't, or a business card or a catalog, and you don't have one single thing on you. I luckily was able to dig up a business card in my purse, but I usually the guy asked for a catalog in the gas station, and I didn't have it. So always be prepared with your stuff. And sorry, that was just a little bit of a ramble. Okay. Anyways, those of you focusing on the Can Do Cancun summer incentive, then obviously you don't have any time to slow down because you're working on going to Mexico. And I can promise you they have made that so earnable for all of us. And if you're focusing on that, then that will keep you busy and hopping through the summer. Mobile office supplies on the go. I just talked about that a little bit, but have Erin Singer, one of our directors, has talked about her mobile office that she carries in her car at all times. Such a brilliant thing to do. You always want to have a little bit of everything on you so you can grab them, especially if you're spending a lot of time at the park or outside with kids, or just going to be out in the community more, which we all are out in the community more, hopefully, when the weather's nice. You want to have supplies on the go. So you want to have your car prepped with some essential products and business supplies. All right, next screen. Okay, so more ideas. I talked about this already, the Bring Back My Bar open house. Expanding your network is huge in the summer. Again, we are outside in the summer. We're doing things. We're doing community events. We are more visible, playing sports, leagues, anything. There are more things going on in the summer. So you have this chance. Take advantage of this chance to expand your network. Put yourself in more places that you can be visible. Talk to people about your business. Get to know more people. Make more friends. Make sure that when you're doing this, that you're always prepared and ready to talk about your business and share what you do. It always comes up in conversation when you meet new people. One of the very first things they're going to ask you is, what do you do? And be ready to say it proudly that you have your own business, that you're a business owner, and share that with them. Reconnecting with old hosts. I talked about this a little bit already, but this is the time you want to be reconnecting with them, see how they're doing, how is their summer going, do they have any fun travel plans, and then say, hey, when are we doing our next party? Don't say are we or would you like, you just say when are we doing our next party? Would you like to take a basket party out to your family reunion? Something like that. But reconnect with your old hosts. You know that they're already interested. They've already done a party. They are an obvious place to go back to. Branding. Use that Scentsy wear. We have so many cute things available to us in the family store, especially in the summer. There's so many cute t-shirts and flip-flops and hats and beach bags. I love the recyclable bags. I take them grocery shopping. I take them to the swimming pool with my kids, field trips. Anytime I can carry one of those Scentsy recyclable bags, I do. The sunglasses are cute. The Scentsy water bottles I love. If you're camping, you can take any of that stuff, water bottle, towels, whatever. Oh, I don't think we have towels, but t-shirts, all that stuff. Use them at the campgrounds. Here's a plug for a cute thing for campgrounds. One of our directors, Jen Blow, did this when she was camping, but hit up the bathrooms with a scent circle, leave some samples around because we know that those outhouses stink. Leave a room spray if you have some extra. Be prepared for it may not be there the next time. That happened to me, but if you're okay to part with it, leave that around there. Another cute idea for the campers is pass out flyers to campgrounds and hold a campground party. I kid you not. I believe that she did this a couple summers ago, where you just go around. If you have kids, get your kids to do it. Pass out invitations and say, hey, come to campsite 38 at 7 p.m. and check out all my Scentsy stuff, and have plugins there and samples, and do a little fun party in the campground, because people are usually just sitting around in their in their campers or RVs or whatever at night and around the campfires, kind of mellow and relaxed. So it's a perfect time to get to know your fellow campers, and everyone's kind of happy and friendly and relaxed when they're camping. So it's just a cute idea to get out there with your business. Okay, and another thing, really important, getting your office in order for fall. I cannot stress this enough. Take advantage of this time to get your supplies up to par, get your stuff labeled, get organized, get lots of samples made, and just replenish, look around your office. If you're out of stuff, reorder whatever business supplies you need. But this is the time to do it, because come the fall, when things get really hectic and crazy and people are shopping, then you don't want to be having to or replenish your office at this point. This is the time to do it. So you want to do a lot of that behind the scenes stuff to make sure that you have a really, really powerful fall. Alrighty. So, okay, so that was a whole schwack of information for you. Another thing I wanted to quickly talk about was fall incentive trip planning. Every year, Scentsy announces at our family reunion, which will be in St. Louis in July, where our next location for the fall incentive trip is going to be. And when you hear that announcement, whether you're in St. Louis, which I hope a lot of you are, or if you're not, when you hear it'll be announced everywhere on social media within seconds after, so you'll hear all over where it is. Tell yourself first that you will be there. Not, oh, that sounds nice. That would be awesome. I hope I can do it. Don't say that. Just say, okay, I'm going to be there. I will be there. Commit to being there. Once you do that, then you know that your game really turns on August 1st, because August 1st is when they start the trip earning period. So you start collecting points from everything that you do from August 1st to January 31st. So August 1st, here is a little strategy that I'm going to talk to you about. August 1st is not August 1st. August in general is absolutely the most important month for recruiting. You need to focus on nurturing relationships, hosts, customers, potential recruits through the summer, work with them. And come August, which is also usually every August since I've been with Scentsy, they've also ran the promo kit for the starter kit. So you get, that's another special where you get a promotional kit with more supplies in it in August. So that's a good incentive for people to join in August. But you want to get people signed up in August, because the more people you can sign up in August, if you can have a really strong recruiting month in August, then that your recruits are able to totally maximize the time frame of the incentive period, which is 6 months to become certified. And really, that should be an easy thing to do in 6 months, become certified in that time frame. And when they become certified, those points for this incentive trip just accumulate so fast. I believe that this year they had, it was, if you had 3 or more people hit certified in 1 month, you got 18,000 points for the incentive trip. And keep in mind, you only needed 26,000 points in total to earn the trip for one anyways. So that just shows you how powerful it is to recruit. So focus on recruiting in August, and you will have that whole time frame to work with them and getting them to certified. All right, so let's see here. I know we're already at 8:02. Okay. The rest of my slides, I just took, again, talking to some of the most successful consultants in the company. A lot of them were in Greece with us. I just took some of the most powerful and important quotes that they shared around this topic, and I have them down on the screen for you here. So Dawn Frankfurt, she is a superstar director from Ontario. She says, "Staying busy in the summer starts in the fall for me. During a busy fall season, that's when you are connecting with the most people. Keeping good records of those people, keeping them in good contact, and getting bookings from fall parties is so important. If you aren't doing parties or meeting new people, sales can run dry. You have to have ways of meeting new people on a regular basis. Themed parties work best for me in the summer. Backyard barbecues are a great way to get neighbors together. I do lots of summer parties that are co-ed and more laid back." So I love that. So that Dawn has shown how she has been able to adapt people's schedules and their preferences. And if people are relaxed and wanting to hang out and be outside more, then she's figured out how to work her parties into that. Sarah Speechley, she's a superstar director from Utah. She says, "Consistency, working their business every day, 5 out of 7 days, even through the summer time. Too many slack off and are playing take it easy. It's harder to start back up, so be consistent. If a department store shut down for a few months, those customers would turn to another store. Same with your customers." All right, Christine, this is one of our superstar directors from Nova Scotia. She says, "I tell my team that my Scentsy business helped me put myself out there to new situations and to meet new people here. I went to different play groups so I can meet new people to mention Scentsy to. Playing ball last summer set up many of my fall parties. Always talk Scentsy and say it proudly. You're a business owner, not I do this thing, Scentsy thing mumbled while started staring at the ground." That's cute. I like that. Okay, Martha. This one is a very powerful one, and I just love. We just met Martha. She's a director from Illinois. We had the privilege of meeting her and her husband in Greece, and they are such nice people. Martha says, our business is run on a 90-day cycle. The results you see now are directly related to the work you put in 90 days ago. Our summer efforts prepare us for our incentive that kicks off August 1st. Continue to reach out to customers. Plus, she also participates in a local market to gain new customers and recruits and book parties. That is awesome. I love that 90-day time frame. Okay, this is my last one. Cass. She's an awesome girl from Ontario, a director who is also in Greece. She says, last year I focused on keeping in touch, commenting on their photos just on Facebook, asking how their vacations were. It sounds silly probably, but they would follow up with, when does your next order go in? And can you add this? And I'll grab it when I get home from camping and vacation, etc. So Cass really touches on a very important part about keeping connected. We are in a connecting business. We need to remind our customers and friends that we're here. And maybe this is a nice little way of just kind of passively saying, hi, I'm aware of you. And they'll be like, oh yeah, that's my Scentsy consultant. And they hopefully remember if they need something else or whatever, but you need to keep your relationship strong with the people that you do business with. Ask them about their personal life, get to know them, like their pictures, chat with them about their vacations. You need to keep in their periphery, I guess. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Keep in there. You want to be in their brain. You want to be stickiness factor, right?
Top of mind.
Top of mind. That's right. So that is that. I think that's it. Those are all my slides. So that is my presentation on keeping your business moving through the summer. Remember that it is a myth. It does not have to slow down. You get to decide that. Hopefully you got some information from both Ryan and I's training, and we're just checking to see if we have some questions.
We're not going to have a ton of time for questions because we want the recording to work, and if it gets too long, then it could not work. So we'll go through just really quick here through these questions.
How do you know when we start?
Because I was watching. Okay, got it. Okay, it's right here. That one's probably for you, Meg. Pamela Wages, do you use a full set of mini testers for your basket parties or divvy them up?
It depends. If sometimes if I have a few basket parties out, or I need to, my basket parties are not, my mini testers aren't up to par, I'll have to split them up a bit. But I usually try to give them as most options as possible, so I will try to give a full set. But sometimes people prefer a little bit less, so I just kind of play it by ear. I've done both, to be honest. So I know some people do pouch parties and only have about, I think, 15 to 20 cents in there, and that's a good way to really make your parties. You can do a lot more basket or pouch parties at once if you split them up like that. But
okay. She's saying, is the webinar being recorded? Yep, it is being recorded.
It will be. It's recorded, but it's not. It's just audio only. So we don't have the slides on the recording. So
actually, no, the slides. I'm recording this one as a video because we had a presentation to go with it. So.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be a movie file. It's not going to be an audio file like I normally do. And the reason why is because of the slides. And so you'll be able to download it as a .movie file. You'll be able to watch it on QuickTime or Windows Media.
Oh, great. Okay, there you go, Chelsea.
And that's it, guys. So thank you for coming. Hopefully it was beneficial. Yeah. What are you doing?
I'm just checking. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, we're just stalled here for a second. But yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. What are we at today? We're at May. So our next TWW TWW group webinar, we always try to stick to the third Wednesday of every month. So we will let you guys know the topic in a couple weeks, and we will go from there.
Okay, everybody, we're shutting her down. Have a wonderful night. Take care.
Bye.